Hey everybody, Roxabox90 here with day 2, or technically day 1, of Commander 2014 spoilers. We got so many spoilers and 2 more Planeswalkers, which is super exciting. We're going to go through all the stuff that I found so far, and we're going to start off with Arcane Lighthouse, which it's a task for a colorless, and then it allows you to remove Hexproof and Shroud and prevent Hexproof and Shroud until end of turn, which is really awesome in Commander when so many cards, especially Voltron commanders, rely on these abilities to make them unkillable. Seems really good pasted onto a land. I like it. Mirrored Landscape, it comes into play task for a colorless, and then you can tap 2 and sack it to get 2 basic lands that share a land type, so 2 forests, 2 plains, 2 islands, etc. Put them into battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library. Seems like a very good variant for this, even though hitting play tapped and then having to wait a turn. But for 2 mana, seems pretty sweet to me, I have to say. Gives you that bit of ramp. I like it. Jet Medallion is a sweet, sweet reprint, and I think this is the artwork that we saw a long time ago for the different... We thought they were... Did we think they were medallions? I think we did. I don't remember. We speculated on it a long time ago, but regardless, looks freaking sweet. Card that could definitely use a reprint. It's a little expensive because of just how old it is. Very strong card, very, very nice. And all of these medallions, hopefully there's one in each deck, it would make sense. And they're all very, very solid in Commander. Commander's Sphere, 3 for an artifact that taps for a color of your commander's identity. We've seen this before with Command Tower, seems pretty sweet. And then you can sacrifice it at any time to draw a card. This is awesome in Commander when if someone plays Austere Command or some kind of Wrath thing, you just sack this in response to draw a card if you need to, use it once you've Divining Top. There's so many ways to use that sack outlet. And then it also taps for pretty much any color you need. Great stuff. Unstable Obelisk, it's 3 for an obelisk, colorless, and tap 7, tap it, sacrifice it to destroy permanent. Seems really nice for colorless decks, specifically. Seems like a really nice way that you ramp it up. It's just another part of your ramp, and then it gives you that flexibility later. I like it. Malicious Affliction, 2 with Morbid, it destroys a non-black creature, but the Morbid lets you copy it and do it again. So 2 to kill 2 non-black creatures as long as something died this turn. Seems freaking sweet. A little bit narrow in use, but very awesome card. And actually, I think this has the potential, at least sideboard potential, in Eternal formats. I do think it has that potential in it as removal. 2 for 2 seems pretty good, especially if you have some kind of sack outlet or something. Necromantic Selection is 7 for a sorcery, blows up the field, and then you get a creature card that was destroyed this way back into play to your control. But you have to exile it. They seem to be doing this a lot. I guess preventing ways of abusing infinite loops or whatever. But it seems cool. Seems cool. Definitely a viable Wrath in Commander. And I'm sure there'll be lots of fun stories where people are like, oh yeah, I did this and then got Inkwell Leviathan or something crazy. Overseer of the Damned. This card is pretty nice. It's removal, flying body for 7. And I like that its ability whenever a creature an opponent has dies pretty much. Then you get a 2/2 black zombie. Very, very nice. Is a scalable card for control decks, for aggro decks. So many decks this is a very flexible card for. I like it. Wake the Dead, X and 2 black for an instant. You can only do during your opponent's combat, but then you get to return X target creature cards from your graveyard, sacrifice those creatures at the beginning of the next end step. So regardless, they're going to die no matter what you do, but you still get to enter the battlefield ability effects. You get to leave the battle field effects, and then you also get, as a combat trick, this is probably the most powerful mono black or black period combat trick in the history of the game. It seems pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. I like it a lot. Spoils of Blood, 1 black for an instant. You get an XX Black Horror, where X is the number of creatures that die this turn. Super black, super flavorful. I love it. I love it a lot. I hope that this Derek Flesh Carver, I don't know if it's just a random creature or that's the black legend that we're going to see, or a black legend we're going to see. Don't really know, but regardless, the art's kind of sweet, and the card itself is very, very flavorful and commander focused. I like it a lot. A lot of these cards I like a lot. You're going to hear me say that. Flesh Carver is 3 for 2/2 Intimidate. Very nice sack outlet, makes itself stronger, but more importantly is that when it dies, then you get another huge creature. So it's kind of like the Penumbras from way back when, and when they died, you got another big creature that was black. This card seems like that. I think it's fun, scalable utility that works as a good sack outlet. Very, very good card. Raving Dead is a 2/6 for 5 Death Touch, but this is terrible, I hear you say. But then that at the beginning of your turn it has to attack an opponent at random. It has Death Touch, so you don't want to block it, but if it hits a player, they lose half their life. It's not super powerful, but it could be really fun, and the fact that it's randomized means that it's not my fault that my zombie's attacking you. Oh, you don't have any creatures? Well, I'm sorry. It is random. Seems like a fun multiplayer card. Not super powerful, though. Demon of Wailing Agonies is the Black Lieutenant, 5 for a 4/4 flying with Lieutenant. It's a 6/6 if you have Lieutenant, and whenever it does damage to a player, they sack a creature. Very solid, strong creature, and the Lieutenant factor I like a lot, so seems really good to me. What else is there to say? Duelcaster Mage, Snapcaster's twin brother if he was more expensive and not legal and modern to be amazing, I guess is the way to describe him. I mean, he's 3 for a 2/2 flash, solid enough. But when he enters the battlefield, you copy an instant or sorcery, and you can choose new copies. If this was legal and modern, it would be absolutely insane. As it is in Commander, it seems very strong. Even so, much like its brother Snapcaster, its card is very, very solid. And the fact that it's a creature gives it a recurring effect that you can really abuse. I'm sure it's going to see lots of play. I like it. Bitter Feud, 5. You choose 2 players. If damage is dealt from one player to another, it deals double damage or whatever it is. It seems really, really fun. I like that you can suddenly create tension, and Bitter Feud that you get to decide who hates each other and create a really interesting mesh that way. Of course, it's not some sort of crazy explosive spell, but hey, it's really fun, and I love its design for Commander. Then we have Grabrisier, whatever you call it, basically Grave Sifter. It's a boring body, 6 for a 5/7. Comes into play, each player chooses a creature type, and you get those creatures back from their graveyard to their hand. It's boring, it's fine, it's generic, whatever. Nothing particularly cool. Then we got Warmonger Hellkite, again, boring generic dragon that's still pretty sweet for aggressive red decks. 6 for 5/5 flying, creatures attack in return, and you can make attacking creatures stronger. It's fine. Artwork is much cooler than the card itself. Then we have over here Infernal Offering, 5 for a sorcery. Choose an opponent. You and the player each sacrifice a creature, and each player sacrifices draws 2 cards. Okay, so you lose some, you gain some, I guess. But then you choose an opponent, return a creature card from your graveyard to play, and then they get it. So this is like the ultimate group hug. It's like, okay, we're both going to be sad, but then we're both going to be happy, potentially. Or that we're both going to be happy, and someone else is going to be sad. It's kind of like, it lets you work with the field itself. It's very mold-fitting card, and much like Bitter Feud, it's going to be, I think, super fun in multiplayer. Reef Worm, this is probably the most interesting card of the night. 4 for a 0/1. When it dies, you get a 3/3 blue fish. That when that dies, it gets a 6/6 blue whale. And when that dies, you get a 9/9 kraken. It's like the evolving worm. I love it. It's super, super flavorful, super cool, super. I think it's pretty scalable. I mean, it's not particularly crazy and explosive, but man, it seems really awesome. Benevolent Offering, 4 for an instant that the same choose an opponent kind of effect that you get. Each of you get 3 1/1 flyers, and then you gain 2 life for each creature and 2 life. So it's not particularly powerful, but it's fun. It's fun, and that's really all there's to it. And the artwork really is what stands out. I kind of wish we got foils of it. Then we have two new Planeswalkers tonight. Oh yeah, you heard me. Freyalise, as we predicted, and I mean, come on, what else do we have here? Is back in gloriously beautiful artwork. Again, foils, please. 5 for 3 +2. You get a 1/1 elf druid that can tap to add a green. Llanowar Elf seems solid to me. -2, you destroy an artifact or enchantment. Perfect flavor. -6, you draw a card for each green creature you control. Wow. Fantastic. I actually think this has potential in seeing play in Legacy Elves as well. I don't think this is a pure Commander card, but in Commander, I mean, most decks running green, this card is fantastic. And as a Commander, I think she's great for Elf decks, and I think she's great for any sort of green aggressive decks. Very well designed, fits her flavor super well. The art is gloriously amazing. Again, as I said, I love her. Nixilis, on the other hand, I'm not such a fan. I mean, the art is cool, but 5 for 3, you +2, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain life equal to that amount. Seems very weak. -2, you get a 5/5 demon, but you lose 2 life. Again, that puts him down to 1, and the 5/5 demon in multiplayer Commander? Really? And then -8, you get an emblem that sacks a creature, you gain life, and whatever, and draw X cards. That's probably the main thing about it, but how are you going to get to -8 when the +2 is so bad? I'm not a fan at all of him. I'm sorry for those who like him. His art is really cool, but I don't think he's all that powerful. And the final card we have tonight is Jezal Goldmane, Ajani's twin brother, who is so sick, much better than most Ajani's. Seriously, 4/4 for 4 with first strike. That for 5 mana you can do it multiple times. Attacking creatures get X+X. where X is the number of attacking creatures. What? What? Holy cow. This is ridiculous in any sort of aggressive white whatever. He attacks. 5. Poof, explosive. 5 again. Poof, explode. I mean, he's so strong. He really is super, super aggressive. I love his design. He wins combat as a first striker. What else did I say? And the art's good too. What else is there? But yeah, we got a lot of really cool cards tonight. We're getting kind of swamped with spoilers because they've waited so late till the end of the cycle. But I'm going to keep you guys updated as much as I can. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know your thoughts below in the comment section. If you enjoyed it, tap the like button. If you're new to the channel, check in and subscribe. And as always, Roxabox90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.